Working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. It's Comics Covered, a comics culture and comic book podcast.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
Okay.
This is episode 48. This is in the episode for October 24th, 2018. Is that number correct?
Episode 48, it is correct. Yes. We are 48. 4 times 48. 12.
That is some math. Times 60 minus 73 plus, what is your birthday, Jack? What date? What's the number?
Oh, wow. You don't remember again.
What is the number?
Remember you forgot last year?
Just tell me.
It's 10.
Okay. Minus the age of your first dog when it died, and it's the number 23 with Jim Carrey.
Wow. Have you actually seen that movie?
Yes, it's horrible.
I'm sure it is. Wait, okay. I want to talk about what your intro, by the way, the Monster Mash. It always cracks me up because on Reddit, when someone like does a bunch of math to like figure something out, like, oh, it's probably this because of this and this, someone always puts, they did the math. They did the monster math. It was a graveyard graph.
Oh boy, wow. So me and my girlfriend held a Halloween party.
You got schwasty.
Our house. Yeah, this last weekend, not this weekend, but the previous weekend.
You mean this last weekend, Doug?
Yeah, I know. I just mean like, I don't know when people are listening to this. Anyways, it was the weekend of the 20th. So I love the Monster Mash. It's ridiculous.
It's a great song.
It's.
Have you heard the Christmas version?
God damn it, Jack.
What?
You're jumping ahead.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
That's the point, is other people hate the Monster Mash, and so I put the Monster Mash in the playlist, and then put the Monsters Holiday song directly after it.
Yes!
And so it starts again, and everyone's like, wait, fuck, you're playing the Monster Mash again? And I'm like, no, wait for it. And then everyone was very confused. It's, for anyone who hasn't heard it, Bobby Pickett and the Crypt Keeper 5? I don't know. Bobby Boris Pickett. Is that his name? I don't know.
Love that. I have no idea, Doug. I have no idea.
Bobby Boris Pickett's second monster-themed song, entitled Monsters Holiday, is literally the Monster Mash, only the lyrics are changed so it's about the monsters celebrating Christmas, and there are jingle bells. It was a
Monsters Holiday.
Yep.
They went on in a flash. It was a Monsters Holiday. I forgot the rest of it.
Anyways, it's basically that, and it's pretty great.
We
talk about comic books and obscure old Halloween and Christmas songs.
Yes.
We talk about comic books, the world around them, the industry, movies, TV, games. We're going to talk spoilers about the books that we decide to talk about later.
Yeah.
So that's your warning.
Definitely. Speaking of games, just really quickly, have you gotten Red Dead Redemption 2 yet, or anything?
I have downloaded it. I had to delete a lot of things off of my PlayStation.
Oh, it looks huge.
It's almost 100 gigs, or it will probably be over 100 with patches and stuff.
Bigger than the Bat Dick.
Yup. Anyways, I have not had time to dig into it. Hopefully this weekend sometime.
Okay.
But also, it came out at basically the same time as the new Spider-Man DLC, so can't make up my mind.
Wow.
So I'm Doug.
Oh yeah.
I am the closest thing to a comics expert that we have on this show. And I am here with my co-host Jack. And he's a little bit newer to comics.
Yes, I am Jack. I am reading a lot, but I'm still pretty new, and I have a lot of questions still about a lot of things. Specifically, a lot of questions about the book I just read outside of our weekly Multiversity, which we might get to later, hopefully.
Sure.
Because, holy shit. In any case, Doug, what's this, I'm gonna click on this character you got lined up for me today.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I've got some images of a new character. I am unsure if this is a thing that you might already be aware of. But anyways, it's around Halloween time here. I thought we'd make it a little bit themey this week. Okay. So this one is kind of themed. You may or may not know who this is.
So this is, I don't know who the dude is, but it's Man-Thing, right?
Yep. Okay. So you do know
it's
who
like basically Marvel's Swamp Thing.
Sort of. Yes.
In a way. I don't know anything about Man-Thing,
Okay,
though.
well, let's make it a little... Okay, so...
What is it, Man-Thing?
We'll broaden it out.
One second. I read something with Man-Thing in it. I forgot what it was, though. He showed up.
Oh, he did show up in Damnation.
Damnation.
Dr. Donny Cates and
He was part
Nick
of the
Spencer's...
team, right?
Yes, he was. I forgot about that. Okay, so you have read something with Man-Thing.
I mean, he didn't do much. Does he ever talk? I don't think he ever talked in that thing.
I don't think he really talks. I don't think he talks.
Is this Luke Cage next to him?
Yes, that is Luke Cage. That is from a run of Thunderbolts where Luke Cage ran the Thunderbolts.
Okay. I haven't read anything with Luke Cage. I haven't even watched the season of Luke Cage, which I want to.
It just got canceled.
I know, but did you watch the second season yet?
I did. It was good. It was a significant step down from the first season, I'd say.
Okay. So if I watch it, I probably don't need to watch that.
I wouldn't say it's necessary viewing. I'd say the first season is great.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, if you like the character, like, Mike Coulter is still awesome in the second season as Luke Cage. It's just, like, kind of the plot and the characters around him are significantly less interesting.
Okay, let's talk about Man-Thing, though.
But yeah, Man-Thing. So you've seen him before.
Yes.
But you probably don't know much about him.
All I knew was that he had Thing in his name and he looks like Swamp Thing.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it is not reductive to call him... it's a little reductive, but to call him Marvel's version of Swamp Thing. But, I mean, he's a little different.
What's his deal?
Okay, so he's, in a lot of ways, very similar to Swamp Thing. Like, he can kind of travel via plant life and all of that. He doesn't really have control over plant life in the same way. But he can, like, manifest himself wherever there's plant life, and he can kind of, like, I don't know, he's kind of made of plants.
Okay.
Anyways,
so what makes him different?
So, he is in charge of the Nexus of Realities.
Oh.
Which is basically what it sounds like.
Is that just like the multiversity of Marvel?
It is the Orrery of Worlds.
Okay.
Sort of, but less like an organization.
Okay.
It's just like, it is the kind of meeting point between dimensions, as far as I know. So
he's a big deal. Are there not multiple versions of Man-Thing then?
Nope, just the one Man-Thing, as far as I'm aware. He's basically immortal.
So he's a huge deal, isn't he?
I mean, he's important. He's like an important background player. You know, he's always just kind of there, but he is
literally always there if there's plant life around.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Yeah. He also, like, he burns to the touch or whatever. I don't remember what exactly the phrase is, but he secretes acid.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, God, that's dark.
So that's like a thing.
Is he a good dude then? Or is he like kind of on his own, like, whole playing field? He is a general
kind of force for good, but he's less of a, like, you know, human protagonist than Swamp Thing.
He's not an active participant, it seems.
He's just kind of there protecting the Nexus of Realities. He can be, like, conscripted into helping the good guys, but generally he's just kind of doing his own thing.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. Man-Thing.
That's just... It seems like such a big guy to, like... I don't know. This specific picture that you have, this specific panel, doesn't seem like it's giving, like, the amount of power and importance he has credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He's a humble guy, Jack. You know?
I guess so. Does he have, like, his own title? Who talks about Man-Thing? Who interacts with Man-Thing a lot? Fantastic Four?
I don't know that there's, like, a specific group that specifically, like, is out with him, other than, like, he was on the Thunderbolts for a while, because he's very much, like, kind of a loner character. But, yeah,
Was he like the Hulk role on the Thunderbolts?
He was actually, I believe, their transportation.
Oh.
He, like...
So he was their Danny the Street.
He basically, I think, powered their ship, and then they use the Nexus of Worlds to, like, move around, I think.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Does the Nexus of Worlds, like, have any sort of way that it's drawn or anything, or?
You know, I can't say. Let's see. Man-Thing, Nexus of Worlds.
Yeah. Really,
I'm
expertise right there.
Yep. Jack, we've been doing this bit for a while, and I feel like I need to make it clear once again. I am really scraping the...
Well,
the
Man-Thing,
barrel
yeah,
of my knowledge at this point.
To be fair, this is the first time I've seen a real, like, thing with it. Honestly, it's still pretty good because I don't know anything about the Nexus of
I'm
Worlds
not saying
or
that I'm
Man-Thing.
scraping the bottom of the barrel with characters. Sometimes I am.
Oh.
But I just mean in terms of, like, I'm getting into... I started off with a lot of characters that I knew, like, I could just, like, say stuff about them without having to, like, research them.
Yes.
I'm at the point now where, like, I'm just like, I know who Man-Thing is, and then I have to, like, look up all the facts about him because I have no idea.
But Man-Thing...
Other than, like, seeing him on a page and going, oh, Man-Thing.
So you've never read anything, like, with, like, Man-Thing heavily featured?
I read bits of that Thunderbolts run.
Bits?
I read, like, the first, like, few issues.
Who wrote it?
I don't remember.
Oh,
That
wow.
might have been... I don't think that was Bendis. Maybe it was Bendis.
I mean, from what I can tell, if it's something in Marvel, it's usually either Mark Waid or Brian Michael Bendis, right?
That's a safe guess. Safer than a lot of writers. But
Okay, so
I'm looking at a page here. Okay. It looks like some, like, Doctor Strange, like, you know, other realmy kind of shit. You know, where it's just like there's a weird doorway into some weird space-looking cosmic nonsense.
Okay.
Like, it's just... it's unformed space with, like, portals going to different places.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure if Grant Morrison did more work at Marvel, he would have gotten that shit together. But as of now, no.
Speaking of which, I've been meaning to... I found out in the last, like, year or two here that Grant Morrison wrote a fucking Fantastic Four book.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I don't know anything about it or if, like, it's supposed to be good or anything. I just found out that was a thing that existed, and I was like, I feel like out of sheer curiosity, I need to check that out.
That sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, in any case, so you've only read that Thunderbolts thing with Man-Thing. Does Man-Thing have, like, a series anywhere, or is
he has had series. Yeah.
But nothing
he recently had a series written by R.L. Stine of Goosebumps fame.
Oh. That's interesting. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, to the point that I trust R.L. Stine's writing. I haven't read it.
I don't know that I, as an adult person, would trust R.L. Stine's writing to be something that I would still be interested in. I guess more so is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can feel that. Okay. Well, Man-Thing. I would love to... this is one of those characters that I would love to know more about, especially now actually knowing, like, his whole deal. That's a crazy... That's crazy that he's, like, that powerful to me. Like, it's just... Like, he's, like, one of the most powerful beings then, right?
He kind of is. I mean, yeah, but again, he's just, like, he's so, like, not involved in anything that he just kind of, like, is there in the background just doing his own shit all the time. And, like, occasionally he will pitch in.
Interesting. But
he apparently, like, Swamp Thing, used to be a person his name was Ted Salas.
Oh. Wait.
He was trying to recreate, and this is a huge trope, he was trying to recreate the powers of a particular Marvel hero. This is the one thing that I'm going to make you guess, because I've just been telling you about this character. Can you guess what character
the person was trying to
replicate his powers?
Oh,
yes,
God.
That caused him to become this.
I have no fucking... Okay, let's see here. It's a character I know, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it obvious at all?
Not looking at Man-Thing, it is not.
Okay, so it's not like the Hulk, because everyone tries to replicate the Hulk's powers.
That would be a good guess. It is not correct, however. That makes a lot more sense than the actual answer.
What is it like? Okay, I'll guess.
But, like, the characters that people try to replicate their powers in Marvel is the Hulk or this character.
Oh, okay. Was this character's power replicated in a series that we've recently read?
I mean, honestly, probably. I don't know about recently. I don't know what specifically you're referencing.
Okay, it's not Mr. Fantastic,
this character's powers, no.
Okay. Spider-Man?
No. No, but again, a decent guess. This, I'm just gonna tell you.
Tell me.
It's Captain America.
Ooh. Okay. I get that's the other person that they try and replicate, but goddamn.
Yeah, no, I know. Completely
this guy fucked up.
Yeah, no, apparently. So basically his origin is Swamp Thing's origin, only instead of like a biorestorative plant formula, he was trying to recreate the super soldier serum, and then he drowned in a swamp.
Oh, okay. That happens.
Yep.
Wait, so but that's weird, because how did he become like this whole huge like person over the nexus of worlds and shit like that? You know what I mean? Like, how is there has to be more versions of him in the universe that did this same thing. You
mean like on, what are you talking about? On since you're talking about other worlds?
Okay, because he's like the main dude in the nexus of worlds, right? Man-Thing?
Yes. He is the protector of the nexus of all realities.
So in these other realities, though, there must have been other, like, of this guy that tried to replicate the serum and became this thing again.
Maybe?
So are they all also protectors of nexus realities?
Dude, I don't know that.
But you know what I mean? Like, I just asked you earlier, like, if this was the only Man-Thing, then if there are other versions. There must be other versions.
I just, on other Earths, sure. I thought you meant, like, in, like, a legacy sense, that, like, he's the only person in the Marvel Universe who has ever been Man-Thing.
I'm talking about, like, there are other versions of him in other worlds.
Yeah, I don't know that.
But then they would be also the protectors of the nexus of reality. Or I don't know if that's a thing that this specific one, like, got. Like, he did something to, like, become that protector.
Yeah, not sure.
It's kind of an interesting thing, like, is the Spectre. It's, you know what I mean? Isn't it kind of, like, in a way, a similar sort of thing? In DC.
What about the Spectre?
Like, the Spectre is this huge, like, cosmically powerful thing he's over the multiverse. He isn't like, there aren't like multiple Spectres, are there?
No.
So
there's
like,
only the one.
I
mean, at any given time, yeah.
Yeah, I got the idea that Man-Thing was like similar in that sense, that he was like over the reality sort of thing. But he can't be if he came from a human and it was just from a human accident, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm having trouble finding how he ended up the protector of the nexus of realities.
God damn it. Okay.
Anyways.
I'm going to find Man-Thing. I'm going to read the entire first run. I'm going to report back.
Yep. So, one, I would just like to point out that we've gone this whole time and you have never made a joke about the phrase Man-Thing.
Why would I make a joke about Man-Thing?
It sounds like a dong joke.
Oh, that's... Ew! Doug!
Ew!
What is wrong with you? Why would you talk
wrong
about
with me?
Penises?
Also, the most famous like joke about Man-Thing is he had a special at one point that was a oversized issue called Giant Size Man-Thing.
That's kind of funny. But that is disgusting, Doug. Shame on you.
And horrible. All right. Well, I'm starting to really run out of things to say about Man-Thing. So,
okay. How
was your week, Jack?
I had a good time this week. I had a good time in life in general. So Samantha and I have been re-watching, as I wrote, Daredevil season 2, and I realized that a lot less of it is the worst no Punisher stuff. Like,
yep,
we're on episode 10. And it still has all this Punisher, like trial shit and all that stuff. Like, yeah,
it kind of bleeds into the other stuff. So, like, you still get a long tail of the Punisher being a big part of the show.
Yeah.
But it starts to, like, filter in what becomes, like, the last act of the show.
But what I mean is that, like, I didn't realize if these last 4 episodes, 10, 11, 12, 13, seemed so long and took me so long to get through that it felt like it was like more than half. I thought like he was only going to be in like the first 6 or something episodes, but he's been in 10. So it's like, damn.
Yeah. That shit is so good. All of that Punisher stuff is so good. It's so much better than anything they did in the Punisher show.
It is. I didn't hate the Punisher show, but
I didn't hate it. I don't know. I lost interest after a while. I never finished it. It's not. It wasn't.
I think it gets better at the end. I think you should give it another shot.
Sure, maybe.
That's what you say when you don't do things.
I just don't care enough.
Okay, that's fine. Doug, what about your week? What are you doing with your life?
I've been watching season 3 of Daredevil, and it is so good. I know we were saying it's not actually that much of season 2 that is not that great.
Did you just look at your phone?
God damn it.
Hey, Doug, that was a dog thing. Can you tell the audience what I sent you?
Jack sent me a picture of a dog's penis.
Not any dog's penis. It's the dog that I dog sat last week, Charlie. And it was crazy. I've never seen a dog's penis all the way come out. It was nuts.
Wait, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, Daredevil season 3.
Daredevil season 3 contains no dog penises.
How do you know? You haven't finished it yet, have you?
I said that I'm aware of.
Okay, good job.
So anyways, I haven't finished it yet. I'm 9 or 10 episodes in, so I'm towards the end.
Okay.
And
so you still don't know if the last 4 episodes are going to be terrible.
They could be. I mean, if it follows the pattern of the last season. But I have heard generally really positive things about the season as a whole, so I'm guessing it holds together, at least somewhat. And yeah, it's just like, after like the last few episodes of season 2 and the Defenders, kind of leaving a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth in terms of like Daredevil content.
Yeah.
Even if like not all that stuff is usually as bad as I have it in my head, but like it just, I don't know, it was a significant step down from the previous stuff. This, it puts that bar right back up there. It's so great. Like they find a really great organic way to like kind of bring the character back down to ground level. Okay. It's a bit more scrappy, and it feels like a step forward in the development of the character and not a step backwards in a creative sense.
Okay.
It's actually really clever in how they kind of sidestepped some of the like weirdness around them, kind of like making it a kind of smaller, more scrappy kind of dynamic for him. Like the fights feel like a struggle again in a way that like really works.
Wow.
And yeah, it's really well done, but also just like the character work is really good. There's tons more Kingpin in this season, and that's been clear in the marketing and stuff. And so you know the other villain character that they've integrated in this season?
Talking about Bullseye?
I don't want to ruin it. Yes, Bullseye.
Remember, we talked about that on the show that he was going to be in it.
Okay, yeah. Bullseye is a big part of the season, and their execution of him is super good. Really?
I have not had no exposure to him except for Colin Farrell in the original bad Daredevil movie.
It's like they nail not only like him as a character and just like making him an interesting villain, but also like the fucking fights with him are so fun.
Really?
Like, his whole deal is he's a master marksman who can make a weapon out of anything.
Oh.
And so he's just like, they're in an office or whatever, and he's grabbing like staplers and like, you know, like throwing them like daggers.
Holy shit.
And ricocheting shit off of like 3 things and then hitting things. It's so good.
That's awesome.
It's great.
So would you say he's your favorite character this season, or what?
I'd say he's that's hard to say. He's the best new villain. Okay. I would say. I mean, he's really the only other. I mean, there's other villainous characters.
Yes.
But, guys on the side of the bad guys. But there's another big new protagonist character. Protagonist, antagonist. He kind of goes back and forth, but he's a good guy. Okay. And he's an FBI agent, and he's awesome.
Okay.
He's a really good new addition to the
ensemble,
protagonists ensemble in the show.
Very cool.
And kind of interacts in some ways that kind of goes against the heroes, but also kind of is on their side, and it goes back and forth, and it's really cool.
Okay.
He's really good.
I've always had a sour note about Karen Page.
Oh, I love Karen. She's the best actor on that show.
I think she gets better after season 2. Honestly, I liked her in Punisher the best. And I liked her in season 2, Daredevil,
I like
better
her
than season
a
1.
lot better as a reporter. I
Yes.
think she makes that she's a lot more kind of like a lot more of a strong character. Like she feels like she has more of a purpose that is her own rather than just being a supporting character to Daredevil.
Yeah.
But it still kind of like intersects in interesting ways.
Yes, yes.
And they do a lot of really good stuff with that
Okay.
part of her character in this season. So I think you'll like it.
Okay. I'm really, really pumped. So how would you describe, like, compare it to season 1 then? I know it's tough. It's different. You know?
Like, if I like it more or less, or just talking like comparisons?
Like, more or less.
Give it a number. I still probably would say that I think like the first season is like really focused and clear in a way that like it's hard to replicate as they build on top of it.
Okay.
But I like Kingpin a lot more in this season though, so I don't know.
Is he more like ruthless and more definitely evil?
Yes, and also, yeah, he's just less, I don't know, I found him a little bit whiny in that first season.
Yeah.
Like in that, like, it was all about, like, his love interest stuff.
Yeah.
And they build on that in this season, but without it, but the other character's not there.
Okay.
So it's kind of more of just a character quirk as opposed to, like, the story being about it.
Interesting.
And yeah, he's a much more menacing villain, I'd say, in this season.
Nice. Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if I could pick one, but if I had to, gun to my head, I'd probably still pick season 1. But I think this season's really strong.
Okay. I'm super pumped. It's gonna be great. I only have 4 more episodes, but hopefully we get through them. Actually, Doug, do you want to talk about news?
Sure. All right. So news highlights this week. The big movie news this week in relation to comic books, Wonder Woman 1984, the sequel to the live-action Wonder Woman movie from a couple years ago, has been moved back 7 months, which fucking sucks.
Like, okay, I don't get it. Is this happening more, or am I just more aware of it now?
What is happening is that it's a few things. It's one, the internet and kind of fan culture has pushed people's awareness of this stuff up by like 1,000% of like when movies are coming out and when they're shifted around. I'm guessing that this stuff used to still happen like a lot before like people were hyper aware of release dates and stuff, and just you wouldn't know until they announced the final release date.
I guess so.
I don't know that. This is all me speculating.
Like with big franchises that are happening now, like we have so many that they have to navigate around.
I would also guess that
maybe
like movie studios are announcing this stuff earlier because people are hungry to know that information. Again, it's tied into just like the access of information. Like how like it didn't used to be a thing that you would have like at big conventions and stuff, or like Warner Brothers would come out and announce their release slate for the next 7 years or whatever, you know, like that didn't used to be a thing at all. Like they'd put out a trailer eventually and you'd be like, oh, okay, it's coming out then, you know? So I don't know. I feel like that's tied up in it, but also I think that, the recent trend of massive reshoots in blockbuster movies, which has become pretty much a given, has put a lot more flexibility in terms of like how studio executives think about release dates.
What?
I think that's maybe tied up.
Okay. I was just checking also that we are less than a year away now from New Mutants. August 2019.
Jesus Christ. That movie was going to come out this goddamn year, wasn't it?
I believe it was going to come out, like, wasn't it going to come out last April? And then it got moved to February, and then it got moved.
It was almost a year that it got moved. It was like 11 months.
But 11-month move was after it already, like, remember, we have a full trailer for it. It was going to come out, like, in a matter of months.
Yep. God, it was months away when that
I believe it was going to come out before Infinity War, and then they moved it to February of this 2019, and then it got moved to August.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Insane. But yeah, in any case, Wonder Woman, too bad. June 5th, 2020. I saw a lot of language about, like, they're bringing it back to where it should be, or something like that. What the fuck is that? Like, it's like, I guess they released the last one in the summer, and they wanted to do the same with this one. That was the reason for it.
I don't know. Were they moving out of the way of a different movie?
I think some people speculated that was like Star Wars and stuff like that too. I don't know.
Yeah, they moved. It says it was originally dated December 13th, 2019, but was moved forward to November 1st to avoid being just a single week ahead of Star Wars Episode 9. But they delayed it by a bit more than that. Than just putting it back in December. They put it in June of the following year. So that's not
I don't know,
really
man.
the reason. Anyways, that's so far away for being a movie that was going to come out. Like, that was going to come out end of next year, and now it's coming out like more than a year and a half from now. God, that's ridiculous.
Not so but so.
Yeah. Anyways, that sucks. But, other news here, we got the first video of, well, we got like an image, and we also got the first kind of like teaser video.
Yeah, we got Negative Man.
Of the Doom Patrol's existence in Titans. I have not checked out Titans yet. I feel like I should at least try the first episode.
I heard good things.
I have heard good things, but also I've heard good things forever about The Flash and Arrow, and I can't do either of those
I know,
shows,
but I mean, apparently those are, but I heard that the quality that's, like, I heard that specifically was said, like the quality didn't look good, but in the show, apparently it makes sense.
Okay, sure. I don't know. I do want to try it at some point, the Titans.
I mean, you could always just do, like my plan is to support when Doom Patrol comes out. I'm just gonna wait till that comes out. I'm gonna pay for DC Universe during the run of Doom Patrol, and I'm gonna stop it to show them that I'm supporting this show, if it remains to be good. And during that time, I'll watch Titans, I think.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna try it, or at the very least, I might watch the episode that has Doom Patrol in it.
Just this 4th episode, you won't get anything.
Yeah, who cares?
God.
I'm just watching it for Doom Patrol. I really don't.
I'm Doug. I'm obsessed with having continuity and all eight covers and everything, but I don't care about the TV show.
What the fuck are you talking about? I don't get all the covers. I thought you said all 8 covers. Anyways,
I'd be much more worried.
Yeah, I will watch the first episode. I don't know, but anyways, they released this. It's like a next time on promo that basically has them in like part of it, and so, but it's the first kind of example of them on video that we've seen, and it's pretty slight in terms of what we actually can.
Why does Robot Man have red eyes?
I don't know.
Isn't that kind of weird?
I guess. I don't know.
It looks weird to me.
It didn't bother me. I think it works, especially since it seems like they are going full on horror.
It does.
Doom Patrol, which I could see if they do it well.
Yeah, it depends on how they interact with the horror, I think. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, it's a little concerning to me philosophically, because the Doom Patrol has always kind of been about accepting the weird.
Yeah.
You know? But also sometimes it's about defending against the weird, but I tend to like the like Grant Morrison version of like we're weird and we're protecting the weird, which is kind of what that series became. And the idea of like making it a horror thing seems to kind of go against that, but I don't know.
Well, we'll see. We'll save judgment.
We'll see. I don't know. But I like horror stuff, and I like the Doom Patrol, and I think they could coexist in kind of that tone.
I can feel that.
I am still concerned. I'm more concerned about Mr. Nobody being a horror character than I am about them existing in a horror kind of.
Yeah, but they wouldn't hire Alan
genre.
Tudyk if it was going to be like a super
I think that's what they're doing, though. I think they're making him like he's gonna be frightening, like scary, or at least that's the intent.
Whatever. I'm gonna wait to talk about it. You know what I mean? We'll just wait. We didn't get much from this, so we'll just have to see. They could also just be horror because they're dealing with the darker Titans show.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Anyways, they look okay.
Yeah.
Negative Man is wrapped up in bandages. Robot Man doesn't look immediately cringeworthy, at least in the little glimpses we see.
I'm excited to see how he talks.
So, yeah, I'm still worried he's gonna be cringy if you see enough of him in the show.
I'm just worried about Brendan Fraser.
But we'll see. Whatever. I have no feelings about that. I think he could do that.
Okay.
Did we hear his voice in that
I
teaser?
think it was affected somehow. I think there was a little line there.
Yeah, because I couldn't recognize it immediately, so I wasn't sure if I heard him speak.
Yeah. I think there was like some sort of reverb, like making it lower kind of thing. I can't redo it. I can't do it.
I don't know. Anyways, we're the only people still who are interested in Doom Patrol, so let's probably move on. Let's talk about our weekly comics. So we both read a bunch of books this week. Jack, why don't you list off what we both read?
Oh, yes, I will. Okay, so we read Sentry number 5, which is the ending of that series. Action Comics.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Don't know that it is.
Doug, I'm so sorry. It is. They totally did the stealth miniseries thing with this. I looked up.
It doesn't say, like, the end.
There's no resolicit for number 6.
Part 5 of 5. Motherfucker!
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit.
Shit, is he gonna do a follow-up series or something? Oh my god!
Doug, I have to think that they just want Sentry... Okay, we're gonna talk about that first, okay?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Sentry number 5.
Sorry.
God, yeah. Action Comics number 1004, the previously spoiled by DC, which is seeming to be a new trend because they have Heroes in Crisis number 2 now on these ads saying on sale now when it's next week. Sorry.
Oh, you mean the weird thing where they like say they're on sale
it's fucking bullshit.
And they're not?
That's what they did with Action Comics and they fucking spoiled it. In any case.
They spoiled what was... I guess they spoiled a moment from it.
Yeah, and it was a nice moment. In any case.
You sounded like a toddler. Yeah, that was a nice moment.
Terrifics number 9. Wonder Woman number 57, aka the Doom Patrol, aka Justice League Dark, The Witching Hour number 4.
But it's not though. Cause it's a I mean it is. but the crossover is just The Witching Hour. And it's crossing over between Justice League Dark and Wonder Woman. Don't worry about the fact that Wonder Woman is a part of Justice League Dark.
Yeah, you know. I read alone Baby Teeth number 13, which, by the way, Doug, gotta fucking read it. It's so good. We even have Samantha's mother, who doesn't read comics, is reading Baby Teeth.
Okay, I'm not going to read all the same. I'm reading so many books that you're not reading. Right. You don't need to get mad at me every time I'm not reading a book you're not reading.
Donny Cates, man. It's great. Donny Cates horror. It's everything you want right now.
Someday I will read it.
Skyward number 7, which I haven't read yet, and Whispering Dark number 1. Did you not read Whispering Dark?
I did.
Oh, so that's another one we both read. Good.
Okay.
What'd you read?
Oh, yeah. I also read Amazing Spider-Man number 8, Dead Kings number 1, and then I haven't read them yet, but I picked up Detective Comics number 991 and The Flash number 57.
Okay. We're getting to Detective Comics 1000. I gotta start maybe reading it.
Yeah, which is going to be the first issue of the new action. They keep putting interim writers on that series for like arcs because they're just kind of treading water until 1000 where they're going to put the new team on it, which is the team that was on, or I don't know if it's the whole team, but I know it's Peter Tomasi who wrote the previous Superman run, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
So he's going to be, and he has written Detective Comics, or was it Detective? No, I think it was Batman and Robin. He's written Batman stuff.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for another like longer run of Detective.
Yeah, I should probably get on that, because it's a new writer that I haven't read, and I haven't read Detective Comics at all yet, so I should do that.
Yeah. I like Peter Tomasi.
Okay.
His Superman run was good, a little inconsistent, but good.
What do we got? Spoiler warning.
Let's talk Sentry.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That was my spoiler warning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I read it, and then I looked up, like, wait a minute. Is there another issue coming out? And there's no solicit for it. I looked everywhere, and yeah, it was like, there's nothing anywhere. And now it's 5 of 5.
Huh.
So my guess is that they just wanted a series to get Sentry to this place.
Yep.
And they want some big deal to deal with him or to have him in it. So I don't know what they're planning, but I have to assume that he's specifically in this position now for a reason, right?
Having had a moment, only a moment to process this, and just kind of after knowing my feelings about this book, I kind of actually really like that.
I want more, obviously, because it's been so fucking good. But at this point in the character, if they're planning something more to, like, do something big, like in a big event, or some interaction with another character or something to deal with him as this being and this problem, then I'll wait a little bit to see it. I would like Jeff Lemire to write it, hopefully. But
yeah. The thing that I've always heard about the Sentry before reading any Sentry stuff is just that, like, it's always the same. Like, it's always the exact same story, is that, like, the Sentry can't be Bob Reynolds can't be the Sentry because when he's the Sentry, the Void comes and infects him and he becomes evil. And so it feels like what Jeff Lemire has done with this series is he's put the final nail in that coffin and said, nope, no more Void, no more danger of him becoming infected by the Void. He is just, they are one now.
Let's also set up this book a little bit. Sorry. So this whole series has been about sort of Bob Reynolds has been trying to live his normal life and he has to, like, let the Sentry out somehow. So Tony Stark and Doctor Strange built him this thingy that let him live out his Sentry fantasy in this fantasy world so that he could have Sentry and Void in that fantasy world and then be Bob Reynolds in real life, and that was fine. Shit got wrong. His sidekick, Scout, his old sidekick in normal life, who doesn't have an arm, got mad and stole the fantasy thingy so he could be the Sentry in the fantasy thingy. And then Bob became the Sentry in real life, endangering everybody. And then things happened to where Bob Reynolds spoke to the Void in the fantasy thing and was like, bro, we got some talking to do. And then it was basically him accepting the evil into his life as opposed to fighting it all the time, which is a novel concept.
It was rather than, because what normally happens is the Void takes over and he is the Void. You know, like he just becomes evil.
Okay.
And what the kind of solution they've come to here is like, I'm going to stop denying this dark part of myself and I'm going to become the whole person that I have been kind of, denying.
The voided Sentry.
Yeah. So he becomes kind of this darker version of the Sentry.
Yeah. And then this issue is him just kicking shit up.
But what I think is so fascinating about what they've done here is like, rather than making it about this eternal struggle where he's like, I want to do good, but this evil thing is going to take me over, the evil thing has kind of finally influenced him, just not to the final degree where he is totally evil. And we're just gonna leave it there. He is
just kind of a psychopath.
He is going to be a person. He's not, but he's not even really a psychopath. He's just kind of like goes overboard a little and is kind of a dick. I don't think he's a psycho.
He's got
what in
tendencies.
Here do you think?
I don't know.
He broke
his psychic's neck for no remorse whatsoever.
Yeah, like he's a darker version of this character. I don't think that he the dude was like trying to murder him.
Yes, but at the very end, he was like, it really hurts. Like, let me take the pain away. And then he just does it. Nothing after that. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, his sidekick was killing himself with the powers, what was happening there.
Yeah, I just feel like, I guess he said, I'm so sorry. I don't know. but right after he's like, I finally found myself. You won't need to worry about me anymore. Like, I don't know. There's something about him that just looks not good to me.
No, and I mean, that's kind of the point.
Yes, it is.
He is now living in that weird gray space between being a hero and being a villain. I think he is a character who thinks he is going to be a hero, but he's going to do it in a way that is maybe not okay with the heroes in this universe.
Well, I don't know. He said
and I think that's an interesting role for him to kind of inhabit in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Especially when we're talking about a character who's basically a Superman analog.
Like, things also like this, where he interacts with this woman that he was really, like, caring for and everything, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
again, I'm not saying he's a good guy. Like, he's been, like, corrupted by this. You know, he's just kind of that bit dickish.
I guess so. I'm really interested to see where it goes. Like I said, like, I'm mad a little bit that it's ending and it was, like, not said it was said at the beginning that it was ongoing, which is, you know, a lie now. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do, I guess. So, I'm excited.
I am very curious. I don't know if this means that, like, Marvel is going to have future plans for him, or if they just... I'm wondering if this is just, like, a thing... Yeah, I don't know if this was a publisher-mandated thing, that they just, like, we want Sentry to be in this place, which does make me think that they are going to do something with him in an event or something someday. But, like,
yeah, I
wouldn't be surprised if this was just a thing that Jeff Lemire wanted to make happen, and maybe he has future plans with him, but, like, I don't know.
I'd be really mad if they don't have any big plans for Sentry, honestly. Or if they don't follow up on this at all, that'd be really annoying.
Yeah. It just kind of ends, though, doesn't it? Huh?
It really just ends. Like, it makes sense in a way. It just, like, if this is the ending, it doesn't feel like it's,
I kind of love, now that I know this is an ending, because, I did love the ending of this issue, but now that I know this is the ending to this series, I kind of love where he's at with, like, what the understanding he comes to with the Avengers. I've never fucking seen that.
Well, yeah, because he kissed the shit out of them.
Well, okay, so they have so the Avengers show up to basically, like, stop him because they're like, oh, he's been taken over by the Void.
Yeah.
And he basically spends this whole, like, he fights them, he keeps beating them.
Yeah.
And then eventually they're just like, we have to take you in. And he's like, you can't stop me. Like, you know you can't.
Literally. Yeah.
And so, like, you know you're going to lose again and again. And so he's like, Tony Stark says, so what then? We just trust you to do the right thing from now on? Just this line that just shows of, like, he just knows, like, yeah, like, this is going nowhere. Like, we can't be.
Yeah.
Which is fucking nuts. Like, I haven't seen that before. And he's just like, he says, you don't have a choice. And then he fucking flies away.
Just, yeah.
And yeah, like, She-Hulk asks Captain America, like, is he good? And Captain America's like, I don't know. And then the issue,
we're gonna find out.
Yeah,
though.
and then the issue ends. That line at the end does make me think that they are going to, Jeff Lemire or Marvel is going to do something with him soon.
Yes, and I'm really pumped. It's gonna be great because it is an interesting dynamic because he's literally probably one of the most powerful people in the world, in the universe.
Yes, definitly, yeah. In
1,000 exploding suns, right?
That was a line in the issue, yeah.
1,000 exactly.
Which is, like, such a ridiculous thing to throw out there. And it's like, yes, 1,000 exploding suns. I can definitely wrap my head around exactly what that means. But it sounds crazy, doesn't it?
It's great. But yeah, so, yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
It's gonna go somewhere.
I think I am fascinated to see where it goes. I think, like, taken on its own, like, it's such a weird way to end, but, like, from a story plot standpoint, I still think, like, everything in that book has been awesome. Like,
yes, it seems like it's a poorly paced ending, but when you take into account how powerful he is, it makes sense that it has to end here because why else? Like they said, what else are they going to do? You know, he's so powerful. They can't keep fighting him. He can't keep, You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to go nowhere, so it has to end.
Yeah, and that's something super unique that I haven't seen before, and it's, at the very least, it's interesting. You know, like, Jeff Lemire is playing with some stuff that I have not seen in a superhero comic before, and I definitely want to give him the power to just do that kind of shit. So,
definitely.
Big fan.
For sure. Doug, what do you got to talk about?
I want to talk about Action Comics number 1004 did you get the regular cover?
Yes, and I know I've been giving shit to this foil cover thing, but this is beautiful.
I know, right? Like, that's all I was trying to say. I wasn't necessarily defending you. I know you have an issue with all these foil covers because you think it's gimmicky.
Well, I have 5 issues right here.
It's just, look at this fucking, this one specifically.
Yes.
It's so good.
I completely agree. This is not gaudy. It's not like, it's just a great simple image, and it makes it feel like warm. And that's like kind of what, like, these, I don't know. It makes
really the best use of the foil texture.
Yes.
That any of these has. Like, it really improves the image, and it feels like the image was made with it in mind.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Definitely.
That's probably my favorite cover this week, if we're not doing covers of the week anymore.
We don't have to say we're not doing covers of the week. We can still have a cover of the week.
Well, it's not an official segment, but this was definitely my favorite cover this week.
Yes. Agreed.
Anyways, so this issue is the 4th issue in Brian Michael Bendis's Action Comics run. So he's writing both this and Superman comics, and this book has been kind of more about Clark Kent and kind of his job at the Daily Planet. And there's Superman stuff in there, but it's all like in this kind of ironic, silly way. It's like, even though it's called Action Comics, it's more about Superman the person and kind of his more human level drama stuff.
Yeah. And by the way, I just want to say one of my favorite things about this series in particular is when he has like normal conversations, they're having good character work, like when they're in the bedroom here in the bed, and he just like he's like trying to convince her that he can have a normal life with her. And just quick, like, oh, hold on, flashlight, and then this double page splash is of him just like kicking the shit out of all this, like dealing with all these problems. He's like, what were we talking about?
Yep, I fucking love those little kind of interjections into scenes where it's just like, you get this tiny little taste of Superman, and it's this idea that, like, in a split second, he flies around and just deals with a bunch of shit, and then goes back, and we're just back in the conversation scene. And he's done that a couple times in this book, and it's so great. And it's used to, like, a specific purpose in that scene in this book. Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah, in this particular instance, it's like, we're not highlighting this, but this particular thing is exactly what we want to say because it has to do with this conversation. You know?
Yes. So this story right now, we're dealing with, well, kind of in Superman in general, one of the big questions going into Bendis's run is it seemed like he was kind of writing Lois and John out of the picture. Lois Lane and who is Superman's wife currently in continuity, and their son, John Kent, who was introduced a few years back. And he basically sent them off into space. Jor-El, Superman's dad from Krypton, came back and said, like, I want to take your son into space so we can basically, like, kind of teach him how to, get control of his powers and be acquainted with the universe and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so they went off, and Lois went with them to kind of supervise. And mysteriously, in the last couple issues, we found out that Lois Lane has secretly come back to Earth. And it's been a big question, like, where do they stand? Are they still going to be together? Especially if she's, like, hiding from him? And so Superman confronts her in this issue, and we start to kind of get an idea for kind of what Bendis is doing with these characters and why. He does not feel like he's writing Clark and Lois's marriage out of the picture. He's just kind of he's taking a look at it, and like Lois says in this issue, she says, like, we're not normal. Why are we trying to make it seem like we have this weird normal life? I want to be a reporter and I want to like put my all into my job. I also want to be married to you. And so like they're still going to be married. They're still going to be a couple, but Lois is going to be like off on her own adventures.
Yeah.
Still. And I think that's really interesting and really like, adds an interesting kind of twist to their relationship rather than just having Lois be at
I
home
like this
as a
first image of the book, like the first page really puts you into like the idea of what she's really doing. She's getting shit done while she's away from him. You know, she has all this stuff written down about her new article, all these little post-its about what she's doing, like the Leviathan Civil War, like what the fuck is that? Like all these like food go around, this stuff. It's lived in. Her life is lived in, and I like that he's writing that in to give us like a sense that that character's acting even though she's not here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I also really like how they just totally they gave you the weird red herring of like Lex showing up at Lois's door last issue, and they just totally sweep that under the rug here and just be like, oh, whatever. He showed up because he like wanted to. What's it even? He wanted to do. He just wanted to like contribute to her
like
book
that.
or whatever about
He's
Superman.
An expert in Superman.
Something
I needed
like
him.
That. Anyways. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I really love the human angle they're adding to this, and I really like that he's not. That's been a thing that I've been worried about, that he's not going to get rid of the existing relationships between Clark and Lois and their son. I know I try not to be super aware of this stuff, but I've seen that they are going to be addressing the John and Jor-El stuff soon in solicits. So I'm excited for that. I have a question. So Lois in this issue, she talks about what happened, what's been going on with John. And she said, Superman says, but John's okay. And she says specifically, baby, he came alive. First of all, it was like he hit puberty the second we left orbit, which is funny. And Superman gets kind of uncomfortable. And then she like kind of clarifies what she meant. But I'm wondering if there is a literal element to what she said.
Oh, yeah. I think they're totally going to go in on that.
I think John they mention in one of the upcoming solicits, they say, like, get ready for the all-new Superboy or whatever, which I think it's still going to be John, but, like, they're not replacing him or something, but, I'm wondering if they're going
to age him up. Oh, you think he's going to look like a lot older?
Yes, like more of an actual teenager as opposed to like a 12-year-old.
I don't know.
That's my guess. I think that's what, because I don't know, comics don't ever really have a good organic way of like making characters get older. And so when kid characters in comics get older, they tend to just kind of like all of a sudden be older. Or they're like, John's been 12 for like 5 years now.
Well, damn. Okay, I mean, yeah, maybe he'll be like a teenager, like a 16-looking-year-old, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can see that.
You know, I don't know. That's my theory. So yeah, I'm happy with where that stuff is going, and I'm excited for Bendis to dig more into that stuff directly.
Definitely. I have a question.
Yes.
Is Lois Lane in this universe like a normal person in Metropolis? Or a normal person working at the Daily Planet, for instance, does that person think Lois Lane is married to Superman or Clark Kent?
Clark Kent. They know they're married because it's been an ongoing thing in this series where everyone's been like, they think they've broken up at the Daily Planet. They keep like asking him about it, or like not asking him about it. They've been like tiptoeing around him.
Okay, so is this moment gonna be a big deal then? Because he's kissing her in public as Superman, and there's a guy...
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Filming it on his phone? You see the guy filming it on his phone, right?
I know. I'm willing to bet that comes back up. They make such a big deal about fucking like Lois, because Lois Lane and Clark Kent are in a weird way in this, at least in this version of Action Comics, this version of Superman, a little bit of celebrities. And they're like famous reporters, and the like gossip reporter at the Daily Planet like confronts him with Lois and Lex like at her apartment, like as if to, you know, show that they were having some sort of affair.
Yeah.
And like, so like they're aware of this idea of like people misconstruing stuff and like people taking phone pictures and gossip stuff getting out there. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he's in like 3 panels here, this dude with the phone.
Yeah, it's very pointed. Like, that specific picture is going to come back.
Oh, there's even another lady in the background who's in multiple panels holding up a phone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but I don't know. Maybe it goes nowhere.
I think it's definitely going to go somewhere, because that's...
I think it is, yeah.
Why would they do this?
I don't know. I think it was just like... I think they didn't think about it. Like, they just, like, just did it because they hadn't seen each other in forever, and it was just a bad decision.
Well, and then they did just do it because they hadn't seen each other.
No, multiple times.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. I really hope in Superman he starts doing different stuff.
You just really don't like Rogolzar.
I like it. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It feels like it's a bunch of action that doesn't mean that much. I don't know.
I think that's kind of the distinction, though, and I think these books work really well as a pair because you are getting the big action stuff and you're getting pretty much all character stuff in this book.
But you know what? Like, they're too separated for me to see them as one unit. You know, like, if like the Superman book was like the action scenes of the storyline that's going on in the Action Comics book, I feel like I'd get that part more. But I feel like they're so separated that Superman just feels like a title that has a bunch of action that doesn't mean anything at all. And this one feels like it has all the good character work that I like about comics, and it gives me a reason to read them.
I think this is definitely the better of the 2 books, but I am enjoying Superman. Like, I still think it's a really good Superman book, even if I do prefer this one. Like, I agree. I think Rogolzar is like a pretty forgettable villain.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping once we move on from that, like, I still like the vibe and the approach of that book, even if I don't like that specific character.
I like the vibe and everything. I just feel like it's meaningless action, and like, it's good. I love the art. I was just talking about like a couple issues ago in Superman that I love the fucking art. And I think I specifically said, like, the art made me forget how little actually happened. So, yeah. I mean, there it is. But like, so I'm excited for another storyline. Maybe that's all that needs to change, but
yeah, I really like it, but
I think it's good.
But I agree. This one is definitely the standout. Like, if I had to pick, I would pick this one. Okay, cool. Anything else that you want to talk about?
Yes. I want to do our new book roundup.
All right. So there were a couple new books this week. Well, I mean, there were lots of new books. We both picked up one of them, The Whispering Dark. And this is a creative team that I know nothing about. I basically saw it, like, it compared it to At the Mountains of Madness or like Lovecraftian stuff.
It said Apocalypse Now meets Mountains of Madness.
Yeah. And I was like, sure, why not? It's October. I'm in the mood for horror stuff. Yeah. I don't often give new Dark Horse series much of a chance. So I was like, I want to check this out. It sounds vaguely up my alley, at least.
Yeah.
So what did you think of this book?
I thought it was great. Like, it's a start. It's an introduction for sure to the storyline, but I think the whole environment they're working within, the storyline that they're dealing with, and the characters that they're setting up, like their sort of situations in reaction to this, I think it's great. I think it's exactly what I expected. Like, when they said, like, Apocalypse Now meets At the Mountains of Madness, it's, I don't know. I'm really excited. I get a Aliens vibe in a way. I don't know.
Sure.
I really dig it. Like, there's the art. I don't know. The art feels boring in the regular scenes, but then when you have a big splash like this big explosion or whatever, it's just like, oh shit, okay, yeah, shit's going down. Like, I feel like there are these accents in this story that really work with that sort of weird vibe you get from the rest of it, you know?
I know we're doing a bit of a slow burn here.
Yes.
I wish it had gone a little bit further into exactly what the like horror hook is here. I'm starting to wonder if there really is one.
I think what's going to be going down is these. So they got these drugs, right?
Yep.
And those are definitely going to play a part in them not getting any sleep, them going crazy, and them just maybe turning on each other, them having weird hallucinations that maybe they'll be real, maybe they won't be. What? So there was actually an explosion, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I just feel like that would have killed them. It was a huge explosion.
It was a nuke, as far as we know. It looked like one, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was confused by that, but I don't know. I don't really want a book where they're all hallucinating and turning on each other.
Okay.
I don't really know if that's something I'm interested in. I wish there was a bit more gray area where it was, because if it was a bit less sure, like if it was the drugs or if there was something going on, but in at least the tiny bit of like weird horror stuff where she has like she sees a monster in this, it's very clearly the drugs. Like person, she sees a person attack a dude and then for a split second sees them as a monster. And it's like, all right, like it needs to operate a little bit more in the uncertainty here for me to really be invested in it. Otherwise, I'm just like, I know it's a hallucination and that's going to get frustrating.
I got you. But I also feel like this lady is like a daughter of the devil or some shit like that.
Like, if it goes in a direction where it's like, I totally think there is definitely a way in which they can make it move more in a gray area kind of direction where like, yeah, you're not sure if like this stuff is real or not. But right now I can only see it not being real. And I don't like, that's not enough of a hook for me. Just these people going crazy in the woods. I thought it was well written. I thought the art was serviceable. I'm interested enough to see if I like the next issue more.
Yeah. Because it truly was just an introduction. And for introduction's sake,
yes.
I don't know. It's enough for me, but I can understand your idea about it for sure.
Yeah. It's a lot of table setting, and I'm definitely going to see where they take it from here in the next issue. As opposed to the other new book that I picked up this
Kings.
Week. Dead Kings, which I picked up basically on the virtue of I saw a big robot on the front.
Oh.
And I've been wanting to read a new Steve Orlando book because I've talked about this on the show before, really liked his run on Midnighter at DC, and I just really want to read another book that was like that, that like was good like that one, that had his voice, because I thought he had a really strong, unique voice in that book.
Yeah. And you read Unexpected with me, right, too?
Yep,
that was also
I read Unexpected.
And dropped it.
I read his run on, what was the Justice League book that he wrote? It was a Justice League related book. Anyways, and it was Justice League of America was the book he wrote. Anyways, and I looked inside, and there's like, it looks like this is an apocalypse that has happened in the wake of a war that involved giant robots, like Pacific Rim style, like people in giant mechs fighting in the, like, I believe Russian countryside?
Yeah.
Like it seems to be set in Russia.
Yeah.
Hard to tell, because this book is so overwhelmingly filled with made-up jargon that I had a lot of trouble parsing exactly what was happening and why anyone was doing anything. I feel like I got the gist enough to where I, like, mentally, when I, like, think about the story of this, I'm like, yeah, the story of this book is interesting. I barely understand what's happening moment to moment because they're constantly talking about the thrice nine and the Oprinchiki and where are you from, Katampunk? And like, it's constant. One of the steel Palensi. Like, what's happening in this book? Anyways, I get it in a large scale. Like, I understand the general plot of this book.
Yeah.
But it's a real slog to get there to like understand it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, at the end of the day, like, I don't think they're, at least in this first issue, I don't think they're leveraging enough of what seems to be the unique thing about this, which is the like fact that it's the fallout from a war with giant robots. Because otherwise it's just, we're in a post-apocalyptic Russia, which is kind of just all the book is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. They're just, there's like a weird police state kind of thing going on. There's prison camps for like people who are degenerates or people who are like criminals. And this guy's got to save his brother from one who was imprisoned for being a gay man. And like,
I feel like I'm zoning out just listening to you talk about it.
I know,
honestly.
it's I don't know. Like, it's conceptually interesting, I think, but a slog to get through.
Okay, well.
And I don't think I'm going to continue reading it because not every book needs to be enjoyable, but I found it more of a struggle than I think I would like
I got
to
you.
continue reading.
But you really liked the art, right?
The art was good. Yeah. I liked it more than I liked the art in Whispering Dark.
Yeah.
It's got a nice style to it. But again, yeah, just
yeah. I got you.
I don't know. I don't think it was badly written. It was just, it's this assault of jargon.
It's
it's a weird complaint to have about a book, but it was so much that it just made it kind of hard to parse.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Doug,
so,
oh yeah. So you're not getting the next one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Any other books you wanna talk about?
I mean, no. Up to you. We can talk about
Wonder
this stuff.
Woman, Witching Hour.
Well, yeah,
to be very fun.
So Wonder Woman is definitely dead, right? Forever. Like, that's
forever.
Too bad.
She's definitely dead.
Totally
dead. She's dead. They definitely don't have a literal ad for the next run of Wonder Woman in this book.
Oh wow, yeah. But yeah. I mean, I still think it's like a cool moment. I love that they changed her from colored in the beginning, like when she's interacting with the gray and white, and now she's gray, and it like takes you a little bit to notice. But then they're like, wait, oh shit, yeah, I think you think you're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, still like a great issue, and yeah.
Yeah, and this was the same artist from the other Wonder Woman installment of Witching Hour.
Yeah. And it looks like Man-Bat and Detective Chimp are figuring out stuff to go on. You know what I mean? Like, they look like they're trying to figure out how to solve this problem, which is maybe counteracting your problem from writing them out of
yeah, I thought they were just writing them out of, like, this plot, but they are totally just off on their own doing other stuff. And I think that works just fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked it. It was good. Next week's the final of that, so that should be fun.
Yep. Excited to see how that wraps up and kind of where we're going to move forward in Justice League Dark from there.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Do you want to talk about what we got next week, Mr. Doug?
Sure. We have, oh my god, we have an issue of Doom Patrol.
I know, but I'm really concerned because the story doesn't sound like it's going to be that great.
It's a spin-off, not a spin-off, but
it's
like
kind of a spin-off.
I think it's a one-off story, right?
Yeah, it's about the Reynolds family.
It's about the Reynolds, so it's about I've forgotten their son's name, but it's Sam and what is the wife's name?
Oh shit, what is the son's name? The teenage something, whatever. I don't remember.
I don't know.
But they're going to be
Anyways,
going off.
he got like magic powers. He's like a magician.
Yeah.
And they are going off on like a D&D inspired adventure.
Which worries
like,
me.
At least from the cover.
Because I read this book called Rat Queens that's super
Sure.
like into the D&D like humor and stuff, and I don't think I like that humor.
Well, it might have just had a sense of humor that you didn't like.
Yeah, maybe. I just hope it's good because it seems like a really big step.
It's a different artist, right?
It's not Nick Darrington. Nick Darrington's doing the cover, but not the art.
Yeah. I'm excited for another issue of that. I know it's going to be a side thing, but I've generally liked Gerard Way's humor in the series. So if it's like, if that's a concern, I don't think that's really going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Whatever.
But I'm excited for that. I wish it was like not such a side story, but whatever. We are also getting Heroes in Crisis number 2.
Yeah.
Wow. Very excited. We're getting Ice Cream Man number 8, which is always great.
Yeah.
Justice League and Justice League Dark both coming out.
Craziness.
Oh shit, Witch's Bad Egg.
Yeah, it's Halloween next Wednesday.
God, that's right. Yeah, they're coming out on the 31st.
Yeah.
I need to reread the first volume of Witches.
I know.
So I can read this and get everything.
Yeah.
I think it's a side story, though, isn't it? I don't know if it's about the same characters.
It's a side story.
So maybe I don't need to reread it. I would like to, but
just for the universe.
If I have time, I will.
Yeah.
But Terrific's annual number 1, it says here you're not getting it.
I don't know if I'm going to get it.
Is it by Jeff Lemire?
I didn't see that it was by Jeff Lemire. I guess I'll do it based off of that.
Let me double check while you talk about this next book.
I like Terrifics enough to like get the series still. I don't like it enough to get the annual.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I don't know.
I've still wavered back and forth on whether I think it's a fun book.
It is.
It's not a super substantial book.
No.
And so I'm always on the fence about like, do I need to read this? No, I enjoy it, so I continue reading it.
But it's also Jeff Lemire, so I feel like it's gonna go somewhere.
I know.
I don't know.
It is not written by Jeff Lemire.
Okay.
It looks like it's multiple short stories.
I'm not gonna get
other
it.
writers. I'm probably going to skip that.
But the other one I've written down here is Hex Wives number 1 by Joelle Jones, who I haven't read anything with. I guess this is about like women who are magically. I don't really actually know. I didn't write down. I don't remember, but I remember being interested in it, and it was something with magic, something with women.
I don't think Joelle Jones is on this. I think she just did the cover.
I thought she was a writer, not an artist.
The writer is Ben Blacker, who is one of the people from Thrilling Adventure Hour, which is a podcast.
The women are too powerful. They must be tamed. So I guess women, unless they're put into a sort of society where men are over them, they are too powerful and they'll keep it. I don't know.
Well, it's like it's about a coven of perpetually reincarnating witches and an all-male conspiracy known as the Architects, who are trying to keep them down.
Okay.
I'm vaguely interested. This book has caught my eye before. I like stuff about witches.
Yeah. Who's Mikra, Mirka, and Dolfo is the artist.
That is the artist. Yeah, I don't know.
Mirka.
Not familiar.
And Dolfo.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's coming out. And then,
that's about it.
That's about it. And the Wildstorm. You had a question about Wildstorm.
I did have a Wildstorm question. Yeah, that's a short thing. Let's talk about Multiversity next week.
Okay.
If we have time. Well, you want to get out of here, right?
Okay. What is your question about Wildstorm?
I'm confused because
I think it's easily cleared up.
I thought it was a Warren Ellis thing, but apparently, from the Authority series or whatever, but Alan Moore, I read, that did, the first Wildstorm. He made that universe or that published, thing, and then DC
neither
bought
of them
it from
necessarily... I don't think he created it. I think Wildstorm was a Jim Lee thing. Anyways, so neither of them are necessarily like it was founded by Jim Lee. He might have, Alan Moore definitely wrote stuff in the Wildstorm universe. Also, Warren Ellis wrote stuff in the Wildstorm universe. I don't know that either of them were necessarily like foundational members originally.
Okay.
But Authority and, Warren Ellis jumped on to write Stormwatch during its run.
And that was Wildstorm?
And then basically spun that off into The Authority, which was a new book that he wrote.
Now, is that pre-DC buying it or post?
That was pre.
Okay.
The Warren Ellis basically became like a really important figure, a really important writer at in the Wildstorm universe, and The Authority became kind of the flagship book, and it's kind of an important book in terms of like the evolution of superhero comics in the modern age.
This is like mid-2000s, right?
Yeah. So he's not necessarily like the creator of it, but he was definitely like the right choice to like kickstart a new version of it.
Okay.
I would say.
How is Stormwatch? Should I read that before Authority?
Stormwatch? I've not really read much Stormwatch. I just jumped directly into Authority, and there's like bits of information you probably miss. You have to do a little bit of kind of just like going along with it.
Yeah.
But
I've learned to do that.
You really get the gist.
Okay.
So because that's where the real good stuff is. But it's really great. The Wildstorm is awesome.
I'm really excited. That's coming out next week, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. Can we just talk a little bit about Multiversity?
Sure.
Okay, because I just read the last issue today.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm falling over. Here we go. So I have it right here. Can we talk about, first of all, fucking Ultra Comics this is the second to last issue of Multiversity. It is seriously one of the best things I've ever read, issue-wise.
Oh, for sure.
It is so fucking cool. Like, in how it works with you as a reader to tell the story. It's amazing. Like, just from the first page, this is spoilers for Multiversity, by the way. From the first page, this guy, we made it, we're back, and he spins right to the fucking camera, or what would be the camera, and it's like, there hasn't been a lot that I've read that does that, and it's really like, oh shit, me! And I don't know, like, I don't know, there's a lot to go through in this book, so we shouldn't go over all of it, but I want to know, because at the end, they like open the door. In this last issue, they open the door to like see who's really behind this in Earth 7. And it's a large man sitting in a chair with the Ultra Comics insignia on his forehead. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, part of me thinks this is supposed to be Grant Morrison.
It could be. Because
like, it looks like it's a writer like looking at this universe. I don't know. Like, I'll choose when next we meet. I don't get the empty is my hand stuff still.
I do not remember what that is. I have not read Multiversity in a long time.
Okay.
Just for everyone's knowledge here, but...
this came out, like, 2015, right? 2014?
It came out... 2015 was the end of this.
This is fucking crazy. Like, there's... I don't know, what do you... Like, I also don't know how Pax Americana, the Watchmen issue of this series, fits, really.
Not sure. They probably had some sort of shot of the weird parasite things at some point in it. I don't know. All of it is kind of really vaguely tied together.
I mean, it's pretty tied together most everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, that one's the one that, like, is, like, barely tied in. But anyways, there's probably a tie-in, but
yeah. Okay. In any case, you don't have any thoughts like about this like right now? Like I don't know.
I don't know because I haven't read specifically. I haven't read that in a while. But I do know. I remember having really, really strong feelings about how good Ultra Comics was.
Yes.
I remember being slightly mystified a little bit by some of the finer points of the wraparound issues, the first one and the last one.
Yeah.
Specifically the last one. but like, I really like that series in general. I really like a lot of the different new Earths they create and the stories they tell in them.
The story they tell about Earth 10, I think, is amazing.
You remind me what that one was?
That's Earth X, the one where Superman landed in Germany.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, that one's very good. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, so the Freedom Fighters, the characters in that, are getting a mini, I think, in December. It is, however, by Hawkman writer.
Venditti?
Robert Venditti, which we were not crazy impressed by, but
who knows?
Anyway, I'm probably going to try it, but anyways.
Also, I got in that Earth X storyline, I got an introduction to the Human Bomb. He shows up in it, and I've never seen the Human Bomb before, and it's such a cool like moment for him. Like, is he in anything else? Bomb. Is he just a bomb?
He's just a bomb. He explodes.
Yeah, but like
he like creates explosions around him. I mean, he's a member. The Freedom Force is a group that shows up very rarely, but now and again. And he's a part of that group. You know, he's never really in much other than that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess that was all I want you to reread this with me.
Yeah. I definitely, you've made me really want to go back to it again.
If you do it, I would love to like read an issue every week with you or something and talk about it.
That would be fun. We could do that as a thing at some point. So
I definitely want to reread this. It's going to be better on a reread, I think. What?
Question that I can answer, but I want to ask you first, because it's just a bit more conceptual. Of the Earths set up, just conceptually, like we're not talking story.
Okay.
Just like of the Earths that they kind of create for this series. What was your favorite concept / like group of characters?
Earth Me, which is Earth 16, home of the Just.
Yeah,
it's the one where they're all the kids who have nothing to do, and so they're like social media stars, and Sister Miracle and Alexis Luthor. It's that was my favorite thing. It was so great, perfect.
I think my favorite was probably the Pulp one. I think that was the second issue.
Oh, yes, with like Dr. Fate and the Society of Superheroes or something like that.
Yeah, well, it was Doc Fate.
Fate and Evan Sewer, right?
What?
The Green Lantern guy's name is Evan Sewer.
It was Evan Sewer, who is the Green Lantern who gives Hal Jordan his ring. So it's basically just like pulp reimaginings of all these characters who aren't necessarily pulp characters.
The Immortal Man is here, and he's great.
Yes, Immortal Man. I very much enjoyed that issue. The Atom, a version of the Atom, is basically like their non-powered like sidekick character.
Yes.
It's very fun. I like that Earth quite a bit.
And then like Vandal Savage, I think, is a big deal.
Yeah, Vandal Savage is one of the villains?
I need to know more about Vandal Savage. It's such a weird name, and I don't really get his deal yet.
He's immortal, and he wants to conquer the world.
Is that his whole deal?
He is a caveman, like a hyper-intelligent caveman who is immortal, and he has lived so long that basically all he wants to do is just get power, and he tries to conquer the world every once in a while. I don't know. He's fun. He's a fun villain.
Okay.
He does some time traveling stuff as well.
Oh, I got you. Okay, but yeah, I loved the Just. I thought it was great. The Marvel one is good. It's just because I really like Dr. Sivana. I want more Dr. Sivana in my life.
Yeah, Savannah's great. Yeah, you got little bits of him in
52.
Yeah, we are definitely going to get a lot more Dr. Savannah in Jeff Johns' upcoming Shazam book.
I'm really interested to see what the tone of that book's going to be, because I've always got this idea that it's like goofy shit for Shazam more often, but
not necessarily.
Yeah, well, yeah,
it depends.
That's what I seem to understand. I really like the aspect of like his whole family and stuff like that, and the cast of characters looks interesting.
I think you and I should both go back and read Jeff Johns' Shazam backups that he did in his Justice League book, because apparently he's going to be following up on some of that stuff.
Okay. Are just the Shazam backups in a specific place? Or?
You can buy collections of I think it's a collection. I'm not sure if it's more than one. It might be, but of that stuff on its own without the Justice League stuff.
I mean, I'm totally down. I love Jeff Johns. It works. But yeah, that's I think that's gonna. Is that about it?
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this week. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. The absolute biggest thing you can do for us if you like the show is give us a review or a star rating on iTunes. If you enjoy the show, let someone know about us. You know, you could tell a friend who likes comics, who is looking for, maybe they're looking for book recommendations, or maybe they're just looking to hear more kind of content with people talking about their favorite books. You can point them in our direction. Mm-hmm. Make a post on social media saying like, hey, like if anybody's looking for a comic book podcast, Comics Covered is a fun one. You can listen to these idiots talk about comics every week. So,
yes.
We release weekly on Sundays. So be sure to check back in next week. Hit that subscribe button on your phone or your, iPod Touch, I guess. Everyone's listening on a phone at this point, right?
I think so.
Like no one still has like a dedicated MP3 player or something, right? I mean, I know some people have to.
They gotta be
people
around.
Out there do.
Yeah.
But like, I guess you could be listening to it on your laptop?
iPad?
Sure.
Apple Watch?
All right, whatever device you're listening to on, we don't discriminate.
No, we don't.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button and you can, you don't even have to think about it. It just shows up on your device of choice.
Mm-hmm. You can do that on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, and Google Play Music. So whichever podcast... and Spotify. And Spotify. That's right. So whichever one you prefer, we've got you covered. In the meantime, for the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered. Please, have conversations with us. We'd like it. I'm also having more activity on our Reddit account, which is fun. So I should be popping up all around. Should be great.
Up and up.
Up and up. You can also find web archives of all the episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com. And on our YouTube channel. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, please do it. We like doing that stuff. Send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or at our email, which is comicscovered@gmail.com. Do we have any email, Doug?
I have not looked at our email in a while.
What if we have?
I'm terrible.
You're terrible. Okay.
I'm terrible.
Doug apologizes.
I check it every once in a while.
Every week?
Yeah, about once a week.
You should put a reminder on your phone.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, we
In any case, thank you again for listening. We'll try our hardest. I am Jack.
I'm Doug.
I love that I trip you up now by doing my regular name.
Yep, it was unexpected because you usually say something that is just not your name.
I am the unexpected.
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna drop you.
Okay. This has been Comics Covered.
Thanks, guys.
Cheerios.